Hello, welcome to Just My Opinion, episode 36. And this episode is entitled Addiction. This has separated families, left people in prison. This addiction thing is a scourge upon the United States. Before I get this started, you can listen to me on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Podcasts, Radio Public. Now, the reason why I'm entitled this one Addiction, because the scourge of drugs, drug abuse across this country. And I have a couple of cousins that's dealing with their bouts with drug abuse. And I'm not the only one in America that has family members that's dealing with this. The scourge of abuse. You know, they want to call it a disease. I beg to differ. I say it's a choice. You choose to indulge whatever drug it is that you have a problem with. Whether it be pills, crack, heroin, meth, cert, which they call lean, marijuana, whatever it is. I think the disease thing is an excuse. It doesn't serve anyone right to deal with drugs. Drug doesn't solve any problems. Drugs just create problems and worsen the problems that you do have. I think people can get over drugs and get back on their feet and live a clean and productive life, but they have to want to do it. They have to want to make a change. Not your mom, not your brother, not your cousin, not your father. You yourself with the drug problem first have to come to the realization that you have a problem. Then secondly, know that I have a drug problem, but it's not the end of the world. This is not something that I can't solve with the help of my friends and my family. And of course with God Almighty, because nothing is possible without Him. But you have to want change. You have to want to be clean. You have to want to be doing better. You know, back when I called myself selling drugs, whatever, I used to, I had a few customers, and this lady, she stayed in the projects to go to her apartment. And I would sit there and sell her crack until all her money was gone. Now she had adolescent kids, like toddlers, 5, 6, somewhere in that age. She had about 4 or 5 of them running around the house. And at the time, my lust for money was so great that I didn't see. You're taking food from these children. You're taking the ability away from them to have lights and gas and clean clothes so that you can gain a few dollars here or there. You're punishing children. Now I say, what I was doing was totally wrong. And that was taking advantage of someone's misery and pain. And I believe you can't continue to try to make a living off of other people's misery and pain. Now I see that. This addiction thing is widespread, and it's in every community. It doesn't matter if you live in the ghettos of West Philly or the affluent neighborhoods of Beverly Hills. This thing doesn't have no boundaries. It don't care about your race. It don't care if you male or female. Another thing too, why would anyone want to deal with drugs when you have 1,000 examples right in front of you of what is done to others that is dealt and mangled with it? You have people's lives that turn from sugar to shit in a matter of weeks and days. You're selling everything. You don't care about your appearance, your hygiene. You got mothers who's not concerned about their kids no more. You have women selling themselves. You have guys robbing and breaking in, stealing, doing everything possible just to attain that drug of choice, whatever it is you does. And if you've seen this destruction and deterioration of people's lives and people's values and morals, why would you even consider even getting involved with it? Why? Because you think you're better? Oh, that's dumb. That's not going to be me. I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm cool. Best thing for you to do, don't ever get involved in the first place. It doesn't mean no one good to deal with drugs. Not only the users, the dealers too. You may gain some money. You got luxury cars and you wearing the finest clothes. And you got a little financial freedom. But this game ends the same way for every drug dealer. Get on jail. Bottom line, I don't care if you're Pablo Escobar, or you're the kid on the street corner. This game ends the same way. I don't care if you have multi-million dollars. I don't care if you was a bricklayer. If you had thousands of bricks that you were shipping in. That's El Chapo. It ends up with you doing life in Florence, Colorado. Pablo Escobar. Or you can get killed like Felix the Cat Mitchell. Ask Frank Lucas. Ask Nicky Barnes. You may have a run for a couple of years or whatever. You're on top of the world. But you're going to get locked up or dead longer than that run was. Another thing I think, the only solution to this problem of drug abuse in America is you have to take the users away from the dealers. As long as there's people willing to get high, you're always going to have dealers. You're always going to have people that's willing to sell a couple dollars, to sell drugs. It doesn't matter who you lock up, who you bust. The money is so great in this that someone will get in and take their place. El Chapo locked up. Are people still getting high? Christopher Dudis is locked up. Are people still getting high? Aaron Jones locked up. Are people still getting high? You have to try to curve these users away from the dealers. If no one's buying it, no one will want to sell it. Because no one will see no profit in it. Ain't nobody here buying this, man. Now you're thinking about something else to do to try to make revenue. Big Meat's locked up. Are people still getting on? So I think going after the dealers, it's not the greatest of ideas. I think you have to concentrate on trying to get in the users claim and try to prevent people from getting on it at all. Whether it's crack, heroin, meth, cert, pills. Because that's a pandemic itself. You have thousands of people doing Xannies and Perks and Vicodins and Oxys, Oxycontins. And nowadays with these drugs being laced with fentanyl, it's not safe. Thousands of people have overdosed just trying to get out. But the drugs are laced with fentanyl and they die. Michael K. Williams, the actor from The Wire, bless his soul. He recently overdosed. The autopsy showed that fentanyl was found in the system. His drugs was laced with fentanyl. So it's not even safe. You may take one last blast or one last pull or shoot one last needle or pop one last pill, and that really might be your last. It's not safe. I pray that all the people dealing with drug abuse problem get clean, get help, turn your life around. Get back on the straight and narrow path. To me, it's not about you getting a job, you doing this, you reconnecting with your family. It's about you being clean before you can do any of that. You gotta be willing to get clean and committed to get clean. It's gonna take a lot, it's not easy. But please, in the words of Nancy Reagan, just say no, please. Thank you, like, share, and subscribe. Also, you can check me out on Derek Bullock on Apple, Just My Opinion, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Anchor, and Breaker. Thank you. Bye.